Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, and thank you all so much for being here once again. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mel and this is my YouTube channel where I'm documenting my health journey with a specific focus on weight loss in the hopes that it will help other people out there on similar journeys. So this video is a little bit different to my recent ones, and I've decided to do it for two reasons. Firstly, whilst weight loss is a big focus of my channel, my overall journey, and therefore this channel as well, is about overall health, and that includes mental health. And I haven't spoken as much about mental health in this channel, so I think it's time we had a little chat. Secondly, mental health or mental well-being is absolutely critical for successful and sustainable weight loss. Because if you think about being overweight, it often involves negative self-talk and feelings of sadness or frustration, low confidence, low self-esteem, you name it. Then you think about weight loss, and it often involves big scale change and frustration and leaving our comfort zones and forming new habits. It can often involve some discomfort and pain, plus it requires a lot of commitment and energy. So if you're overweight and you're trying to lose weight, safe to say there's a lot going on. And trying to lose weight when your mental health is not in a great place is going to be really hard. I've talked about some previous success that I've had on this journey in terms of weight loss, and I'll link those videos below. But what I haven't spoken about as much is the improvement I've seen in my mental health, especially over the last 6 to 12 months. And I want to share what I've learned with you all in the hopes that it will have the same effect on the lovely people in this bite-sized community. Now, complete transparency here. I am in no way claiming to be a shining example of mental well-being. Not at all. I still struggle with general anxiety and social anxiety and health anxiety.
I think I'm having a heart attack is what's happening.
And intrusive thoughts and all that lovely stuff. But where I am now compared to where I was has been an amazing shift, and I can feel it getting better all the time as long as I stick to these behaviors that I'm going to share with you all. And on the other side, I feel myself slip a little bit when I let these habits and behaviors fall to the wayside. For example, when I'm not eating well, I'm not sleeping well, I'm not exercising enough, or I'm ingesting too much caffeine and alcohol and sugar or whatever it might be, the difference in my ability to cope with life is extraordinary. But don't worry, I'm not about to tell you to completely cut out sugar and alcohol and walk for 10Ks a day in order to be happy. My tips and tricks are based on sustainable lifestyle changes, and they're not dependent on one another. So you can pick and choose what works for you and leave the rest. They're also scalable. So once you've chosen a few that might work for you, you can do them to whatever degree or extent that suits you. Plus, a lot of these tips are good for overall health and weight loss, so it's a win-win. So let's get into it. My top 5 mental health game changers, and not just what they are, but also specifically how they make me feel and how they've actually improved my mental health. Firstly, nutrition. I cannot overstate the importance of eating wholesome, nutritious food when trying to improve your mental well-being. What we eat impacts our gut health, and the gut is so strongly linked to our brain. So what we eat absolutely has an impact on how we feel. In terms of what has specifically helped me, and still does, I eat lots of veggies, I cut way back on processed foods, and I cut way back on sugar. I also try to eat a good amount of good quality, healthy fats. It honestly feels like eating in a balanced way balances my mental health. I feel satisfied, I feel less obsessed with food, I have clearer thoughts, and my energy is stable. Point number 2, cutting back on caffeine and alcohol. Sticking to 2 coffees a day and having them both before midday has helped me a lot. Limiting my caffeine has allowed me to continue to enjoy my favorite beverage on the planet without feeling like a jittery, stressed mess for the rest of the day. As for alcohol, that's a slightly different story. I found as I'm getting older that my anxiety, which is the anxiety that comes with a hangover for anyone playing at home, has gotten considerably worse. And not only has it gotten worse, it lasts longer. So I've had 3, maybe 4 big nights over the last year or so, and the after effects of that were bad. No nausea or vomiting or anything like that, just level 1000 anxiety. It was awful. And then I realized I had to stop being so surprised that this kept happening. I had to come to terms with what the new normal looked like for a 30-something-year-old having too many wines. So I don't really have big nights anymore because I just cannot handle the thought of how I'm going to feel for the following days. And this has made a massive difference to my mental health, even though I wasn't having big nights all that often. However, I'm also cutting back on the casual drinking. I can go a while without even having a wine with dinner because I'm just a lot more mindful about how often I'm drinking. And my anxiety levels have decreased significantly. Plus, I feel like I have less mood dips. So overall, my mood is a lot more positive. But on top of that, it's also a lot more steady. The next one is movement or exercise. For me, exercise has been like a calming agent. I feel like it goes into my body, finds the stress and worry, grabs it, and just removes it from the system. Daily or almost daily walks have helped me feel calmer, more grounded, and a lot more level-headed. It's such a weird feeling, but it's amazing. And that's sometimes why I go for a walk purely to put myself in a better mood, and it works every time. Also, I find stretching, especially around my hips, helps me move some yucky feelings out of my body and helps me just feel a bit calmer. The fourth game-changing tip I have to share is getting enough sleep, but also good quality sleep. Having a consistent bedtime and wake time has made a huge difference to my mental health. When I am well rested, I feel calmer, I feel more resilient, I feel less irritable, and I have more energy throughout the day. Having a good nighttime routine and sleep schedule has meant that when I go to bed, I fall asleep a lot more quickly rather than just laying there awake with all those annoying intrusive thoughts that decide to visit you as soon as you get into bed. Okay. The final thing that has helped my mental health that we're going to discuss today is taking better care of myself. When I started learning to love myself a bit more and take care of myself a bit more, I noticed a significant change in my mental health. And what this looks like specifically is trying to wear clothes that are actually nice and make me feel good rather than just whatever happens to fit. But that's definitely a work in progress. Also, doing my hair in a way that makes me feel more me, even if it takes longer, because wearing my hair pulled back in a tight little bun every day was just me being lazy and not putting in effort because I figured, why try? I'm not gonna like the end result anyway. So I stopped thinking like that. Another thing I do is make sure I clean my face every morning and every evening and keep a really nice but simple skincare routine. I also make an effort to speak more kindly to myself and not get so fixated on stuffing up or saying the wrong thing or just obsessing over every little thing I do. Treating myself with more grace is probably a good way of putting it. And what I've noticed from doing these things more often and treating myself with more respect and love is that my confidence increases and I have more energy and just zing during the day. And treating myself well makes me excited to treat myself well again. It's like a positive feedback loop. So there we have it, friends. My top 5 mental health game changers that have helped me improve my mental health significantly over the last 12 months. Now, time for the hot tip. And this video's hot tip is Lulu Lemon exercise tights. And no, this is not sponsored. I wish Lulu Lemon sponsored my videos. This is just me sharing the best exercise tights I've ever owned. I've tried a lot of activewear brands over the years and nothing comes close to these exercise tights. The ones I wear specifically, I will link in the description below. And look, I'm sure there are heaps of good ones to pick from, but I have tried 1 or 2 other types of their tights and they fall down when I exercise. They fit perfectly, they just slowly slide down from the waist when I'm halfway through my walk or whatever exercise I'm doing, and it drives me nuts. So now I only specifically stick to the type that I will link in the description below because I do not remember what they're called. They are so comfortable and they have pockets and they're super flattering. If I'm gonna exercise, I wanna be comfy and I wanna feel good, and these pants do it. They're also super durable. I've just given up following their wash instructions. I just chuck them in with everything else and they're completely fine. I'm not saying that you should do that with yours, but mine have been fine. Lulu Lemon is also really size inclusive. So if you struggle to find activewear that fits or is actually comfortable when you're exercising, these are for you. They are a bit expensive, but They're very comfortable, they're very durable, they're good quality, they look good. So if activewear is something you're comfortable spending some money on, then these are the pants for you. Okay, that is it for another video. Thank you all so much for being here once again and for liking and subscribing and commenting and just being a part of this really lovely bite-sized community that we're building. And I will see you all in 2 weeks' time.